Heyo everybody, Haku here with this bi-week's read-through of Beastars. We're going to be doing chapters 25, 26, 27, and 28 this time around. And yeah, sorry this is a day late. I'm going to keep, well, I guess I want to explain it, but I'm going to keep that really short because I don't think it really matters, nobody really cares or anything. But it's a day late because yesterday I had to go work, I had to work outside yesterday. And before I wanted to record before I went. I wanted to record the anime video and this, and then when I got back I would just do everything I needed to do for this and then post it. But that anime video that I thought was going to take like 20 minutes to record or something ended up taking nearly an hour. So I was like, okay, I don't have time to record Beastars now, but I can record it when I'm back, when I'm done. So I get back, I take a shower and everything, and then by the time that's done, it is like 6-something p.m. and I'm exhausted, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to record an entire Beastars read-through, then edit it, render, upload, make the thumbnail and all that. I was like, that is kind of a lot, and it's already 6-something p.m., so I'll just do all that stuff, but for the anime video, because all that stuff will be easier for the anime video anyway, because of the way it's made. It just takes less work to make the thumbnails for those and all that. But you get the point. I was like, that's not going to take as long. I'll just go ahead and do that, because that was planned for Thursday, which is today. It was planned for the next day, so I was like, well, I can just do that today, and I can push Beastars back to tomorrow. I can just switch where the two of them are. So yeah, that's where I'm stuck with. I wanted to record this in the morning, too, but it's almost 3 p.m., because I am not feeling well today. I wasn't expecting to be feeling so unwell. I don't know if it's because I haven't been sleeping much lately, or if it's because of working out outside yesterday, or working outside yesterday. So I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty exhausted. But drinking some green tea while I record is actually helping. I brought it up in my Magical Girl Raising Project read-through, but since I've started drinking that instead, like, I'm used to drinking nothing but water, but since I've started drinking tea instead of water during the read-throughs, it's actually helped me keep my voice a lot. Where I was losing my voice really, really badly before, I haven't really had that problem as much anymore. So it has helped me a lot. But the caffeine from it is also giving me energy to push through all of the videos that I'm recording and stuff, so that's good as well. So yeah, sorry that I took almost 3 minutes with that random ass story. So yeah, let's talk about Beastars for a bit. We got to see the characters, or mostly Legosi, but he had Bill and what was the new character, the eagle, Ida? I think it was Ida. Or was it Iba? It might have been Iba. But either way, the new eagle character, Bill, and they are kind of sketchy. But we get a lot more with this whole ghetto situation into the society of stuff. And I could probably go on an hour-long rant talking about all the details and intricacies built into this society they're building up, like we always talk about how both the herbivores and the carnivores are oppressed, arguably, in some way. And they have this really cool storytelling method of using the herbivores as being sort of like socially dominant over carnivores, despite the fact that they're looked at as, oh, they're just weak herbivores. But in addition to that, with this ghetto, we're seeing that all of the happiness of this carnivore society seems to be built on this sort of back alley darkness where, without eating meat, it appears, and I don't know if this is every case, but I guess all carnivores need to eat meat, because it's making it seem like those who don't eat meat at some point end up going mentally insane. They end up doing things like murder, self-mutilation, and that's why they have the psychotherapist of the ghetto that we met, and he has a really cool design and all that, and what a cool title as well, Psychotherapist of the Ghetto. But he's this cool giant panda, and I'm just saying he's a large panda, not actually the species giant panda. He might be, but we don't know that, I don't think. So he's taken Legosi's picture, put it up on the wall of all his other patients' pictures, and he says he keeps those there to remind himself of why he does his job and all that, so that he doesn't have to put more pictures up there. So it seems as though what Legosi's going through is something that any carnivore who refused to eat meat would go for, or would go through, is that no matter how hard they fought against it, their instincts would always just lead them down the path that he was going, where Legosi was a kind, good person, but at the same time he was drooling and he was having trouble containing himself, and that was just the little first stages. We don't know how bad he could have gotten. So I guess this next little arc we're on right now is that the psychotherapist is going to help Legosi get over his instincts or whatever, and that'll possibly lead to the growth of him not really having that problem being around Haru anymore. Perhaps he won't have any thoughts about her in that sort of way, and it could help his character a lot in the future. I guess it would be taking away one of Legosi's only weaknesses, really. So it's an interesting thing for the future of the story. And another thing we'll have to watch for is they're outside of the school right now, and if he doesn't come back within a certain time, you gotta think the school's probably gonna get worried about him. And I don't know what the rules or the laws that have to do with that would be, if he could get in trouble with the school, or if the school could send people to raid the ghetto to look for him. I don't know how the rules of that would work in the society. But either way, I guess let's actually start reading 25 through 28. And before I start, I will get a sip of this so that I don't completely kill my voice early on. Okay, so starting with the beginning of chapter 25, my eyes filled with tears, my heart filled with sorrow. What, you're a student from the Cherryton School? I couldn't tell from your plain clothes. Well, leaving that aside, would you like a smoke? I suppose not, says the psychotherapist. What's with that I'm so miserable look? You're such a pain. All I did was give you a reality check. I didn't show you a photo of a one-armed puma just to traumatize you. I'm doing all of this to make sure you have a chance of not turning out like that. You should be grateful. Oh, also, that freaking, is it a saiga? Is that what that antelope type thing was called? That is like, the image is still haunting me. That is so freaking creepy. But yeah, either way, moving along. If I'd left you sinking in that bottomless swamp, that wouldn't make me a very good doctor, now would it? Well, I don't think you're a very good doctor, thinks Legosi. Was tied in chains and punched in the face. His punch had a lot of force. Not even Bill's strength can compare. I remembered something back from last year's biology class. Order Carnivora, family Ursidae. Their body and nature are no different from that of brown bears, but the panda has one unique trait that separates them from other bears. You told me that it was up to me to decide whether you're my ally or enemy, right? Says Legosi. How do you see yourself as a psychotherapist? As a panda with a strong body, or a panda who will never eat meat? That's a pretty intelligent question. It is true that we eat nothing but bamboo, but that question is meaningless to me. I've already abandoned the beast inside me. I decided to become a doctor in the ghetto a few decades ago, out of a sense of duty. I fought with many of my patients and almost got killed a few times, and we're seeing some flashbacks at the bottom. Only a small handful of carnivores were kind enough to help me. The only thing I could do was make sure I'd never get close to death. So, I trained my body and used my bamboo diet to get stronger and more durable. In short, I'm just a doctor with a strong and durable body. And then Legosi reaches for the drink and takes a sip. He must be telling the truth about everything. How do you like my tea made with fresh bamboo leaves? What's your treatment for dangerous carnivores? Treatment? That's simple. In fact, it's what we're doing right now. The carrot and stick approach. But I'm not a patient, says Legosi. Oh, that's what they all say. Well, at least I'm trying to do something about it, says Legosi. That's only because you've developed a personal interest in a rabbit. That's extremely dangerous. What do you know? Just recently we became friends, and shut up, you little shit. He kicks over the table. I love how Legosi's already, like, acting the way he is. Quit acting like you know what's wrong when you're just barking like a goddamn chihuahua. Listen to the words of a pro. You listening? Huh? What you've got inside of you are predatory instincts disguised as romantic feelings. It's the worst of them all. It's probably true that you want a good relationship with her, but that's just what your reason is telling you. It's camouflage for your urge to maul and maim her till she's food. You still have time. You still have to sever your ties with her before it's too late. And then he thinks about it all. Damn it. I can't deal with kids these days. Man, oh man. They say love makes you crazy, but for kids it's just insane. No, I really don't know myself. I'm 17, but I've never experienced romantic feelings before, so I can't say for sure, says Legosi. Never? Mm-hmm. So I like this. I like that he could actually be kind of a mentor character for Legosi. Hey, this wolf is way too reserved, he says. I was pretty wild when I was 17, he thinks. Well, I'm thankful for your services. Can I go back to school now? And then Legosi, not thankful. I'm sure whatever you're worried about won't happen, because my feelings for her aren't romantic. That's what I believe. And then, the psychotherapist tries to hand him something. It's a small animal porn mag. Use it to check yourself. Oh my god. What? He says. Hey, I'm serious. This is really one of my medical treatments. I mean, I guess technically that is sort of a normal psychological treatment. Or it would be to help him from this. I'm still laughing. What does it say on the actual magazine? Small body and long ears that'll satisfy any bunny's lust. Oh god. If you get stimulated by this magazine, then you could just have a unique attraction to small animals. But if you don't get stimulated and only stay fixated on a single rabbit, then you're in danger. Check yourself. You don't need to return it, he thinks. What kind of doctor is he? This is stupid. I'm throwing this magazine away as soon as I find a trash can. I'm sick and tired of all this bullshit. And I actually think that's a good idea, because if he does find himself attracted to rabbits, then if he has that attraction to small animals, it could mean that they could have an actual real relationship without it being a predatory thing. That might always be a slight part of it, but it would be less dangerous. But if he's fixated on a single rabbit, it means more likely that he's targeting her than if he could be attracted to other animals. So, while I do think he's only going to have eyes romantically for Haru, this is kind of a good test for Legosi to see if it is a bad condition mentally or not. So I like the depth there. And then he's thinking about everything people have told him. Grow up. I want to forget everything I saw. This is what happens to carnivores. I want to pretend everything I saw today wasn't real. Everything. It's camouflage for your urge to maul and maim her until she's food. Finally back on the main street. Now I can go back. Legosi, and he gets confronted. Alba? Okay, so it's Alba. What are you doing here? I ran away. I just couldn't bring myself to eat that finger. So I've been here, waiting for you. I kind of like Alba, though. He's not really a traitor. He's kind of a decent friend to Legosi, even though we're just now getting to know about him. Like, I'm not saying he's like friend of the year or anything, but he's a decent friend to Legosi, which is more than most of these characters. I couldn't stop thinking about the head of the club, Lewis-senpai, my herbivore friends. Oh, Alba. It made me sick to my stomach. You were all so desperate. Even now, your beak made to eat flesh is sharp and pristine. And Legosi starts tearing up. And I like this. Maybe Legosi can find a way to true peace with herbivores. Or maybe that's something that just the next generation can work towards more. So, I'm sorry that this all happened. Let's just go, says Alba. Huh? Legosi, why are you crying? Oh, I don't got any napkins. Hey, are you okay? I want to stand on my own 2 feet. I want to stand on my own 2 feet, filled with sharp toenails, together with Alba in this world. All I want is to stand on my own 2 feet. And that plays into the title, the eyes filled with tears, heart filled with sorrow. The creation of Haru. Oh, we have a cool character page. Okay, let's read this. Key points: soft-looking cheeks and arms, childish, and acts kind of like an old lady. Haru, she's 18, I think that says. Sorry, there's really small writing. Gender: female. Family: Laporidae. Species: Netherland dwarf rabbit. Born October 19th. Zodiac sign: Libra. Blood type 0. Height is 3'4" and 53 pounds or 33 pounds. I think it's 33 pounds. Likes morning soap operas. Haru's personality. I feel that Haru is a character that has many traits that are akin to women, both good and bad. But that isn't where a character truly shines. Her true defining trait is that she's always willing to be true to herself, honest to a fault, if you will. Many of the characters are portrayed living a life with some kind of mask, but only Haru chooses to live nonchalantly for her own desires. Haru's childish sincerity is something she shares with Legosi, which makes it a very important trait indeed. See, I like that a lot, because it's kind of what I've been saying about her character is she's having sex with a bunch of different people because it empowers her, and at the same time that's kind of what's making things harder on her as a person, but still it's what gives her a sense of power and freedom. That's why she's doing it. And we've seen that that's not all there is to her character, because she's very kind to basically everyone. Even the people that bully her, she's a bit of a jerk to them, but they started it. But just random strangers, we've seen her be really, really nice to them. So yeah, name origin. I wanted to give her an easy to say name so I could create some distance between her and Legosi, whose name's a bit of a mouthful. Haru requires only one flip of the tongue. It's quite easy on the mouth. Haru's appearance. Haru's appearance, especially her pure black eyes, make her look like an actual rabbit. Most human babies will look adorable to other humans, so in that regard rabbits will look somewhat lovely to carnivores. Well, to put it in a way humans can understand, Haru is a Lolita. Okay, yeah, so she's kind of the lolicon design, of course, even though she is 18. The outside world in school. Ooh, cool. More world building. This is the first time I've portrayed the outside world in this manga. The school Legosi goes to, Cherryton School, is on top of a hill, so the city center is quite far away. The city center also acts as a port city, so it's surrounded by water. By the way, I've modeled the center city out of Ginza Shibuya in New York. Okay. That's really cool. Okay. I almost forgot to say this, but although the city is undergoing summer weather, it's not particularly hot outside, with the animals' hair and fur, 25 degrees Celsius, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, would be considered a very hot day. But the winters are very cold. The temperature can drop to negative 10 degrees Celsius or 14 degrees Fahrenheit. Dr. Panda knows what Cherryton School is, so clearly it's quite the famous school. And if Cherryton's an elite school, then that must mean Legosi's very diligent in his schoolwork. However, Jack is more diligent. He's actually the smartest student in his year. The Cherryton School emblem looks like a triangle, but it's actually a footstep. However, the reptiles who don't have paws don't seem to like the emblem. Okay, yeah, it is a triangular paw print. Okay. That's cool. I like that little extra information. Alright, and now we have Chapter 25, That Day with Mr. Bambi. They say that rabbits can die from... Or actually, before I start the second chapter, I should get a sip of drink between each chapter to make sure I don't lose my voice any. Alright. They say that rabbits can die from loneliness. So what does this rabbit do to cope with hers? And we see Haru on the little cover panel here. This one, all of their cover panels, I don't think we always get one, did we? What was the cover panel last chapter? The cover panels all look really nice, though. Not as nice as, okay, not to compare. I love the cover panels in this, but holy shit, the cover panels in The Promised Neverland are like crazy detailed. And I think that probably comes from having a separate artist and author. But holy shit, their cover panels are detailed. But I like these a lot, too. I'm just a sucker for cover panels in general. Okay. Where is Haru going in the thick, dense forest? Synopsis. Okay, we know what was going on. Don't need to try to read this. Let me skim over it real quick. Okay. Yep. Okay, yeah. It was just last chapter's description. Ah, this again. I always get lost in this solemn, quiet, beautiful and cold forest. I keep on walking and quickly realize that there's nothing warm about this forest. No matter how many branches I go through, I can never find the exit. A lonely sea of trees. And she's holding on to Lewis's horns. And I kind of like the symbolism there that when she's having sex with him, the forest and his antlers are kind of it's kind of symbolism, or not really symbolism, I don't know the proper term, but basically the forest is his horns. And she's saying, like, no matter how many times she has sex with him or whatever, it's never warm, it's just cold. You're heavy, she says. Ah, sorry. And she turns away. Ah, Lewis-kun. Lewis-kun? Haru. Lewis-kun, and they're, of course, boning. This deer always has a lonely look, even at times like this. And I like the depth of Lewis's character, too, where at the same time, he's probably one of the mentally strongest characters, or probably the mentally strongest character, and yet he's got his own set of insecurities, where no matter how hard he's trying, it seems like it really does get to him as a person, that no matter how hard he tries, a carnivore can always just outpower him and outshine him in that way. When I think about it, he was the same way when I first met him. It was in spring, when I was a first-year high schooler. This should be enough for the day, she says, wiping the sweat off. Eek! And then she looks. Oh, sorry for scaring you, he says. Oh, and it's probably that thing where deers have to tear the skin off their antlers. Sorry for scaring you. She's holding her face. I'm shedding my antlers, earlier than I expected. And of course he's bleeding from it. You're from the gardening club, right? Yes. Promise me. Huh? Promise me that you won't tell anyone. Swear that you won't tell anyone that Lewis the Red Deer lost his antlers. And of course, it's a set of insecurities where he has to always present himself as the strongest and put up this front, like with the Adler arc, where he always has to present himself as the strongest, or else people are going to not see him as worthy since he's an herbivore, at least in his mind. He has to make everyone believe that he's the strongest, whether carnivore or herbivore, so he can't let people know that he had this moment of weakness losing his antlers. Lewis was the son of a noble family, so he was treated as a celebrity in school since his first day. Even though he's just a deer, it was very evident that he didn't want anyone to know how imperfect he was. But as for me at the time, Lewis the Red Deer, who's that? I wasn't interested in any of that. You don't know me. Not really. Look, I think you're being way too self-conscious. My club members skip club activities on a regular basis, so I've got my hands filled every day. Well, that suits me quite nicely. Let's have a deal. Listen, it takes 10 days for fake antlers to be made. I'll give you 12 10,000 yen bills if you can keep quiet. I want you to let me borrow your club space for 10 days. I'm not so scared of your bloody face that I'd accept your money, she says. I don't need money, okay? We're gonna do this on a different condition. What condition, he says. Isn't it obvious that I can fix your head? I could skip school for half a year if I wanted to, he says. I see. Scholarship students have single rooms, so no one would freak out just because you're not in your room. I don't know about your classes, though. I didn't think they'd have a place like this in the school, he thinks. I'm Haru, and I'm the owner of this gardening club. And you're Lewis, right? I always come here to take care of the plants. Let's have a good 10 days together. You're free to act however you like when you're here with me, especially since I know nothing about the mask you wear at school. Thanks. It didn't take long for us to be frank with each other. I told you it's fine. No, it's not. I locked it up in the library when you shed your antlers. You're supposed to disinfect the spots where they fell off. I looked it up in the library. Then let me do it. I can take care of it myself. Hey, don't even try to act like a perfectionist in front of me. When I first met you, you looked like Bambi covered in blood. Bambi, you need to quit exaggerating. Just stay still. What? Hey. Oh, sorry. And this is them falling in semi-love, or whatever they're in. Sorry, what am I even doing, he says. Trying to pursue a female when I haven't even grown my antlers back. I'm such an idiot. I'm sorry. For how long were you expected to be perfect? And she sees, like, I think Lewis might be one of my favorite characters, just because he is so strong to be able to present himself to be strong despite all of the pressure constantly on him. And he only, like, barely falters, like when he hurt his ankle. And even then, when he hurt his ankle, he still came in for the clutch to save Legosi during the Adler performance. Our memories together were radiant, sad, and irreplaceable. Hey, Haru, he says. Where will they go? Are you going to the Meteor Festival? Yeah, I'm going to sell plants and flowers. I need to maintain the club budget. I can give you all the money you need for the budget. This is the only place we can meet anyway. I want love more than money, she says. And see, I like this, is that even though she sleeps around with a bunch of people, she wants Lewis to love her because she kind of sees what he's going through, I guess. But at the same time, he has so many expectations on himself to be perfect that he's putting off thinking about anybody else like that. You told me that you understand my situation. It's a young beast's duty to maintain a pure bloodline, and it was decided that I will marry my fiancée after I graduate so I can succeed the family. I don't even have a say in the matter. Okay, so in addition to him looking so much for himself to put off love, he also, even if he really, really, really wanted to, couldn't, because he's still ingrained with this fact that he has to be perfect. He has to do what his family says. He has to go along with this marriage. I need to have a red deer partner, and you need to find a dwarf rabbit partner. All interspecial relationships are bound to turn into a silly school memory. All right, I'm off to my club. Be sure to go to your dorm at night. It's been getting dangerous outside lately. I know. See ya. Maybe when I turn into a lonely adult I can laugh about it, she thinks. And then a chunk of the page is cut out there. Weird. I really, really like this though, because the main part of this manga is getting into the characters' personalities, and we already kind of knew these things about who Haru was and about who Lewis was, but this just adds so much into what we already knew. It just shows us so much more of who they are. And then he opens the door and Legosi's there. Was just about to knock on the door. Lewis-senpai? He says. Okay. So now Legosi knows that they're all connected. Chapter 27, How Clothes Should Fit. I guess I'm going to get a sip of tea, though I don't really feel like I need it. That was kind of a more subdued chapter than the chapter 25 was. Honestly, I hope we get to see more of Legosi with the psychotherapist, though. I'm really interested into what that character relationship could be between the two of them. Chapter 7, How Clothes Should Fit. A bug and a wolf. Just relaxing. Huh? What are you doing here, Lewis-senpai? And Haru's hiding around the corner. Legosi invades a love nest. Hey, he says. And then Legosi looks confused for a second. I'd like to know the same thing. Oh, I've got some business with someone in the gardening club. Haru isn't here. She's in her dorm. But he can probably sniff her out, I would assume. Haru, he says. Calm down. Don't get nervous, thinks Lewis. The gardening club is participating in the festival just like us. It's my duty as a third year to make sure she's attending, so we're well acquainted. Oh, really? Sorry, I could have done that for you if you told me so. Or what? You mean you're acquainted with Haru too? Well, a bit, yeah. Legosi-kun, why'd you have to come here now of all time, she thinks. What is even happening right now? Goodness, what is it with you Goodness, what is it with you and herbivores? What kind of business do you have with a rabbit? Is it related to the club? I could take care of it for you. No, it's fine. It's personal business. I just wanted to see her. And then maybe Legosi growing closer to her will actually be the wake-up call that makes Lewis realize that he actually does love Haru, and that it's not necessarily right for him to always go along with what was planned for him. So Legosi might be the one to drive that change unexpectedly. I'll try and meet her sometime later. Were you about to leave? What did he just say? Thinks Lewis. Yeah. Then let's head back together. Sure. Huh. Legosi-kun, says, Haru, alone. How can this be? He's a wolf and she's a rabbit, thinks, Lewis. It's hard to imagine him sleeping with Haru, so maybe she fooled around with him at some point? What a sad wolf. I'll definitely see him cry one day. And then, Legosi is sniffing him. And then there's Haru. It's not like I'm the only animal she sleeps with, but still. And he's still sniffing him, and Lewis is starting to look agitated. I recognize this smell, thinks Legosi. What is with that disgusting sniffing? Keep your nose to yourself. Well, sorry, just my instincts. Shoot, couldn't figure out what that smell was. Thinks Legosi. I love the two of their interactions as well. And add Bill into it, and the three of them are, just the three strongest are hilarious interacting with each other. Are you friends with Haru-san? What's it to you? Well, nothing really. Then we're friends. Don't stick your nose into my business. Sorry. Then, thinks Legosi, what's with his tone? Do you have a female you like? You're being pretty nosy yourself, thinks Legosi. Well, I don't really know. Then, go support Juno. Why don't you try and be more affectionate to your own species, you sad wolf? Her looks have made her very popular among the first-year members. Try talking to her. I just came here too early. I guess I'll polish the equipment, says Legosi, cleaning one of the lamps, or spotlights. Affectionate to my own species. Huh. Am I getting taller? He looks in the mirror. I want to stop growing. Ever since the thing with the ghetto, I've been getting scared of looking in the mirror. And most of all, I'm scared of becoming distant from Haru-san. What you've got inside you are predatory instincts disguised as romantic feelings. I don't know what'll happen if I try to get closer to her. If I adhered to the natural order, we would definitely become distant. But I want to get closer to her so I can feel better about myself, even if I have to force her to comply. What a very wolf-like way of thinking. My nails are growing, he says, looking at his hands. And then he sees Juno's beside his. This is a good luck ritual to is this a good luck ritual to energize yourself or something? Juno-san, he jumps away. But when did you get here? Just now. Sorry for scaring you. You're pretty early, Legosi-senpai. Yeah, well, I'm usually never busy. Try talking to her, he thinks. So how's the actor team going for you? Are you having fun? It's actually been kind of difficult lately. But the female members seem to be avoiding me. I don't know if it's because my wolf self is scary. Okay, I don't know if it's because my wolf self is scary or some other reason, but the female members seem to be avoiding me. The actor team and dance team are supposed to dance in the light ceremony. After my audition, I was assigned a role, and I was the only one who wasn't informed about it. I'm supposed to be a carnivorous female Tyrannosaurus. I was later told, I bet you can pull this role off just fine. It was probably their idea of teasing me, but I decided that I need to dance beautifully in my role. That's why I came here early so I could practice. Whenever I look at her, I start to consider a few things, thinks Legosi. I see. I hope you'll do good. Maybe even gray wolves can be considered beautiful, at least if they're not like me. And see, I kind of like this too, where he found himself attracted to Haru, and I think a big part of it is that he doesn't like eating meat or being violent or anything like that. And I think he stereotypes himself and dislikes carnivores in sort of a self-spiting type nature. So to see a carnivore who's kind like him, like what he's seeing with Juno or with Alba, it kind of makes him rethink things and see more in them. But I don't know if that'll actually make him attracted to her. In fact, I think I can help you, he says. I was in charge of the lights last year, so I think I can give you some advice for your role. Huh? Here's my chance, she thinks. I want you to see me dance. Now. What? Now, he says. Well, he's counting 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, patting his hands together. I never get this part right. It's hard to get the right angle. Well, I've never danced before, so I'm not sure what to say. I'm not really athletic. Need to jog my memory. Let's do this before everyone gets here. Huh? And then he takes off his jacket. So you're supposed to raise your elbows a bit and bend your wrists. Legosi-senpai. You're so cool that I can't take it, she thinks, fawning over him. Sorry if I'm being too vague, he says. No, not at all. Let's get on with it. She's really up for it. She'll definitely do great, he thinks. And I love how she's fawning over him, but he's just so innocent. Legosi-senpai, do you feel it? When two of the same species synchronize their breathing, their harmony is like none other. And they dance, and he teaches her the dance. It's a nice panel. We will definitely become the perfect Grey Wolf couple. We're getting into yandere Juno territory. And she grabs his hand. Well, what am I feeling? My heart's pounding from touching you, but I'm perfectly calm. I've never experienced this before, she confesses to him. Is it just me? Legosi-senpai, don't you feel anything from this? Yeah, I do. And I know what it is, he says. When you turn into a second year, you're supposed to learn this in biology. It's been scientifically proven that two animals of the same species can acquire relaxation and heart when they touch each other, he says. I love I'm dying in the background. Biology with the R. Biology. That and Legosi's nerd face. Oh my god, Legosi is perfect. He is the best main character. Oh my god, I freaking love Legosi so much. If you ever feel uneasy, you can touch my tail if you'd like. Huh? She's thinking. She's so confused. I can still work on my tasks while you touch my tail. Good morning. Oh, good to see you two early, says Shiida. Oh, good morning. What? She thinks. The next two chapters will begin with colored pages. I love Shiida too. Shiida is Shiida still my current best girl? Juno is getting up there. I think Shiida is still best girl. And I think the one girl could be potentially cute, the journalist girl. But I don't really know. We haven't really seen much of her. So we'll get to page 28, so at least the first part of the new, the two that have colored pages. So let's see what's going on with chapter 28, the brilliance of emotions. And yeah, I'll get a sip of drink. I was wondering if I should or if I should just push through. But it's best to not risk losing my voice halfway through and trying to push through all raspy. Alright, so we'll finish off chapter 28, and I'll try to get this video posted, and then I can work on the hot Q&A some. So let's go for Beastars chapter 28, the brilliance of emotions. And we have this color page with Legosi in the water. The brilliance of emotions. It's really nice. When people think of the sea, summer comes to mind. But what comes to mind when people think of the summer? Love. Okay? I, Jack, Labrador Retriever, am completely clueless right now. You see, I've been friends with this guy since forever. He's a gray wolf. He's big and poker-faced. Anyway, he's a really nice guy. I try to think that I know everything about him. He loved bugs back when he was a pup. Yes, we were always together. And the innocent pup I knew back then. I'm back. Jack? And we have flashbacks to child Legosi. Jack, someone buried this larva. I found a pretty cockroach. Hey Jack, how long can stag beetles live for? Yeah, so some male hedgehog just bumped into me in the hallways and the prickly needles hurt like crazy. It's rapidly growing into a fine young wolf. And all of us, while Jack is supposed to be the smartest one in the entire year. Huh? Where are the guys? And I love how Legosi is not an idiot, but he's kind of a dope sometimes. I absolutely love it. They're hanging out in the Tanuki room. Oh, okay. But I love the confused look. I never thought he would turn into a crazy pervert. And Jack found the magazine. Oh my god. Something's up. Oh, this is so good. Why a bunny porn mag? What? When was he into that kind of thing? It's my fault for searching his bed in the first place. I'm sorry, Legosi. I'll just leave him be, thinks Legosi, because he can tell he's acting weird. Wait, is this the reason why? You've never showed interest in other canines. Is this what they call an aberrant sexual propensity? Legosi, says Jack. We've been pals since forever, right? Huh? Yeah? What's wrong? So, look, I promise that I'll always believe in you, and that I'll never think you're gross or anything. Even if you liked bugs and bunnies, they're all the same to you, right? And Legosi flying drop kicks him out of the bunk. I'm sorry, I looked at this. If you don't have anything to say, please, if you don't have anything to say, please don't open your mouth. And we have Legosi's worried face. I wanted to read the manga I borrowed from you, so I was trying to find it under your bed, and then I found this. I won't tell anyone, I promise. But getting excited from bunnies is... Well, isn't that kind of weird? I want to die right now, thinks Legosi. Yeah, well, it's complicated. You see, there's this rabbit girl I know, and it's been kind of crazy. I'm confused on how I should feel about her since she's a rabbit and I'm a wolf. I'm starting to get some ideas, but it's really stressing me out. Are you in love with her? Says Jack. She takes my breath away. I'm always restless when I'm around her. But who's to say these feelings are love? What you've got inside you are predatory instincts disguised as romantic feelings. I have to sever ties with her before it's too late. Legosi, sorry, I was insensitive. No, it's fine. I'm used to restraining myself. I'm not in love with her. It's just a misunderstanding. I can still force myself to smile. Really? Says Jack, and now we have a time skip. Yeah, really. I'm just reverting to my predatory nature. And he's building the T-Rex float, it looks like, or some sort of sculpture or something, alongside the giraffe. Oh, this paint needs more water, says Kai. Simple and quiet. Now this is something I can do, thinks Legosi. I can bring you a bucket. Will that be fine? He says. Sure, thanks. You got paint on your face. And then Legosi walks off with the bucket. We see a monkey and a bison? Or water buffalo? Something like that. And then Haru sneaks up on him. Oh, hee, yoo-hoo. Don't get nervous, he thinks. I didn't think I'd see you outside. I'm so glad. She's just a friend. Well, the gardening club's going to be part of the Meteor Festival, right? Yeah, I'm the only member in my club, so I'm terribly busy. Legosi-kun, would you mind helping me out a bit? Oh, I need to stay away from you, he thinks. I don't know, I'm kind of busy with the drama club, so it might be hard for me. And you need to do the same. Oh, well, okay. Good luck with that. Sorry. Oh, am I doing the right thing, he thinks. I'm a carnivore, and she's an herbivore. We need to maintain a proper distance. Here's the water, he says, bringing it back to Kai. Yeah, thanks. Let's start painting the legs, alright? Yeah. You know, with Lewis here, I don't feel like slacking off. Wow, he really is here. Well, he came here on a whim, acting like he's so important. Is he supposed to practice for the light ceremony? No, the actor team doesn't have rehearsal today. Maybe he came here for some personal business. And Legosi sees him with Haru. And he starts to realize, what? And we have this big zoomed out panel with just this simple comedic Legosi drawing in the top left. Are you friends with Haru-san? What's it to you? Well, nothing really. Then we're friends. I caught a whiff of something from Lewis-san. A smell that I recognize. Oh. And he's unconsciously crushing the paint tubes. And then they burst. She takes my breath away. I'm always restless when I'm around her. Haru. Haru, I've never seen you make that face before. I can't stop myself. I've never been so convinced about this before. And of course, the blood on his hands metaphor here. I'm in love, he thinks, with you. Legosi realizes his true feelings. The next chapter will begin with 2 colored pages. Really, really good. And I guess that's it for this read-through. It kind of sucks to end here. Really sucks to end here, honestly. How long have we been recording? 45 minutes. So yeah, oh well. I really enjoyed this, as I always do. And in 2 weeks, it's going to be such a long wait, dang it. In 2 weeks, we'll get to the next 4. So we will have 29, 30, 31, and 32. And then we'll be like halfway caught up, I think. So yeah, damn, we're blowing through this. So yeah, either way, I hope you liked the video. Like, if you did like the video, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of these 4 chapters, what you thought of my thoughts and first reaction and all that. Subscribe for more Beastars, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. And if you want a link to our Discord server to talk with me or more of us there, then just ask and I'll give you a link to the Discord server. So, that is it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.